All right, y'all, let's get into giants and the spirits that run this earth. The Bible tells us that there were giants in the earth in those days and after the flood, all right? It doesn't say there was giants on the earth, all right? Now, the tallest giant, according to the Bible, is around 13 feet tall, give or take, all right? And everybody knows of Goliath. He was a little shorter, but either way, there wasn't like a 300-foot tall giant or anything, all right? If there are 300-foot tall giants, they would be inside the earth, all right? Or under the earth, because as above, so below, all right? And that can mean as in heaven, on earth, and that can mean on earth as in underneath earth, where we can't see, right? Because they do tell us that on the other side of the earth, people are walking upside down, all right? And that could be a giant landscape, all right? I don't know. Who knows, y'all? We can't go into these caves. They have all the caves blocked off for the most part. They're all owned by the government for the most part. And you can only go down so deep if you're allowed to go in them. And who knows where these caves go, right? They may go to the other side. And like Goliath or whatever, it could have been like one of these giants that made it through, or like the giant offspring per se, like the 15-footers. They could have been an offspring that made it through the cracks and crevices because they were small enough to fit through the holes, but also big enough to be a giant on our place, right? Because it's kind of a glimpse of the other world, all right? So who knows? So our world could be controlling the giants underneath, and the giants can be controlling our world up here, all right? Who knows? However, the giants, they're spirits, okay? And they're in the earth. And the Bible tells us that the fallen angels and Satan and such, it is cast to the earth. It is cast to the ground. And the fallen angels are in everlasting chains of darkness. And that ties to DNA chains and fatty chain acids and these types of things in nature. So everything has spirit. Everything is connected through spirit, okay? And it's through these spirits it can cool men, right? Because these foods and drinks, especially the processed ones, are full of chemicals, okay? The chemicals is for the culture, for the cooling of men, because they want all men to do and live by the same thing, okay? Y'all ever wonder why you drive around the United States? Okay, I've been to 26 different states, and no matter where you go, it's all the same stupid shit, right? Sure, you got your little mom and pops mixed in, but it should really be mom and pops as a staple unit, and all these little franchisees or whatever is just those are the spiritual giants, and they're controlling our nation. That's why they're in every city, okay? It doesn't make sense as a nation of freedom, as a nation of liberty, to go out and to live in a world where every freaking city, even cities with 30,000 people or cities with 3 million people, they got the same chains. Doesn't it make y'all wonder what's going on? There's a few people controlling your whole world, and they're getting you to drink and eat shit foods and shit drinks that dumb down the mind that make you and give you a beast mentality, because the whole world is built on the beast. Everything in this world is beast worship, okay? That's why you can't be of this world. You cannot love the things of this world, right? And when people are going to the doctor to get their yearly checkup, to get their ass prodded, to get their vagina checked, to get their tits squeezed, whatever the hell is going on these days, I don't know. I haven't been to the doctor in years, dude. The only time I ever went to the doctor as an adult is when I smashed my car at 70 miles an hour into a pole because some dipshit got into my lane and Discount Tire put the brand new tires on the back of the car instead of the front, and I lost traction and I spun off and hit the dang pole. Thank God and thank the Lord that there was a light that came into my car that protected me. Otherwise, I'd probably be dead, because the whole engine was inside the dang car, an inch away from the other seat, all right? And I smashed the pole head on, all right? But that's a side story. I think I told that in my other story back in the beginning. That's the only time I've ever been to a doctor, okay? Even when I had seizures, when I quit meth or whatever, I didn't go to no doctor, okay? Even when I had a heart attack taking cocaine, I didn't go to no doctor, okay? I don't go to no doctor. If I go to a doctor, I'm either bleeding or broke, okay? I don't go to just whatever. I don't go and take a pill for depression, for anxiety. You have all that shit because you're eating and drinking stuff that give it to you, okay? And I fixed many things in my life through food and drink, okay? And I've studied food and drink for over a decade, right? Probably 2 decades. Actually, looking back, thinking about it, my mom, she's lost the way, but she's with dietary teachings that she used to teach me as fundamentals. But the fundamentals my mom taught me always kind of carry through, okay? So you're setting up a foundation for your children when they're young, okay? A lot of people do it when you think the child can think for themselves or whatever, but you got to do it young, because the personality in that child is developed by 7 years old. So if you're giving them all this shit food, all this box food, all these Gatorades and colored drinks and sodas and all this stuff before the age of 7, right? They never have the chance to even think for themselves. That food controls them their whole life. And then they end up having to go to the doctor and get their vaccines. So that doctor controls them their whole life. Do y'all not see what is going on? And the deception has got thicker and deeper in my lifetime, because in my lifetime is when they started showing commercials for drugs, okay? And these drugs, everyone is taking, okay? Y'all are all drugged out and you don't know it. You're either drugged out with your over-the-counter medicine, you're drugged out with your pharmaceuticals that you got to get prescriptions on, you're drugged out with your drinks. Woe to them who have strong drink in the morning. That's talking about coffee. It's talking about your black teas. It's talking about your caffeine, okay? The caffeine, the calf. You're part of the beast. You are being herded, okay? And there's a fee in that. That's why it says the kaf fee, all right? And then you go home. Woe to them who follow it with strong drink at night. Okay, then you go home and drink it at night, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with coffee per se. There's something wrong with coffee when you drink it daily, okay? When you have to have it in the morning to wake up, supposedly, all right? And I've been there. We've all been there, right? But when you find out these things, when you study these things on your own, when you test the men, when you test the elements, when you test what you're taking, then you can find out how these things control you, okay? And all you are all lacking energy, you're lacking this and that, it's because you're all hopped up on drugs and you don't know it, dude. Your chemicals are all in balance, and your chemicals are all in balance so he can fill you with other chemicals, and you just try and fill them, and you get cooled in. You get cooled into that culture, and then he can take control of you, all right? And this is exactly what happened in Genesis 1 when he created the Son of God, the first man, and he created the male and female after his own image, and he controlled the men through that one tree that he made. And that tree gave them the knowledge to be good and evil. And this tree today, okay, this tree today is operated in multiple ways, all right? But part of the tree today is the feed of information, the tree of life. And this tree of life gives us the information we need in life, all right? And this information usually goes against us because the prince of the power of the air wants to control man, all right? He wants to control man, while Jesus wants us to have freedom, and he wants us to have free will. So we see the dualities of these things in Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, and throughout the Bible. And the church seems to miss this, but they miss this because the certain men have crept in unaware, and they're teaching heresy, and they're teaching, I would say, one side of the Bible, and it's a two-edged sword. And if you don't know that two-edged sword in the Bible, then you can be cold, because the two edges help cut through the body, soul, and spirit, which would help cut through the calling, which would help you cut through society and stuff. That's why we're supposed to put on the armor daily, so we can see the things around us, so we can see the spiritual components around us, so we can take the proper battle in life, so we can think about every single thing we do, okay? Everything I put in my mouth, everything I drink, I think about it, all right? And I haven't drank a soda in years unless it's like a micro brew, fresh, like ingredient style, you know what I mean? Which is very few, right? I've had like 3 sodas in the past 15 years or whatever, right? Who cares? Anyways, folks, you got to control your lives, because the beast is sucking you in, and it's pretty much already sucked you in, because all y'all got cameras all over your house, cameras all over your neighborhoods, cameras all over your cars. And yes, some of this stuff is out of our control, but some of it is in full control, okay? Putting the ring on your house, the ring for the beast, so you can watch stuff, whatever's going on, like you got to see your package being dropped off, or whatever y'all are living in fear of, all right? I would never put a camera on my door, okay? Straight up. If they need it, take it, okay? I don't care about the things of this world, all right? And that's the mentality y'all need to have, and that's the mentality you don't have, and that's why y'all are just being herded right into hell on earth, right? So everything is spirit. Everything has spirits connected to it, whether it be a rock, a tree, a flower, everything. And the names give energy. The names affect water. And all these things are a grid and a net for us to have information, for us to build information, for us to gather information on a natural basis, all right? And we'll end it here because I'm at work.